Mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4. Des ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV signing in. People, Blunt Force Trauma. Yo, I think I downloaded something from this band back in the LimeWire days, back in the day. I think I had 1 or 2 tracks, nothing from this record. Apparently they've only put out 1 full-length record. Bruh, I've been on a little slam, brutal death metal journey. We had a bit of Devourment on, we had a little bit of bloody, what was it called on, Disgorge. Gonna bang a little bit of Blunt Force Trauma on. This came out like #1 on some like lists website as far as slam death metal is concerned, on rateyourmusic.com or something like this. So, you know what I mean? The people have made their judgment, they've cast their judgment. I don't know how many people have decided to vote and put this band first and foremost. I find it an incredibly surprising band to put first and foremost, purely as I don't really hear too much about this act at all. I'm surprised that they only had 1 record out. This was put out in 2012. Before that they had a couple of demos and a split. So we got 9 tunes. Shall we jump in, people? This one goes out to all of you actual metalheads out there, alright? I know we sort of flirt around with the music we listen to on this channel, but it is King of the Pit TV first and foremost. So shout out to the metalheads who've wiggled your way onto here. Let's go. I don't know what to expect. Get back, Shadrach, come on. But this is going to be mosh heavy. We're verging on beatdown with a riff like this. That Night Zombie says, I don't know when my mum hates my music. Bro, let me tell you something. When I was in high school and I had to get up for high school and stuff, I was jamming out music like this all the time. My mum didn't really make too much of a comment on it, to be honest with you, but yeah. So is this a Japanese band? Hardcore. Was that it? Right, so we just blast through. A little more simplified than Disgorge. Disgorge was a little more tech death, if not like more brutal death metal. This is slam, innit? Really, there's a lot of slams going on. Hardcore adjacent, you know what I mean? Some of that New York groovy stuff there at the end of that, which is pretty good. Few beatdown elements into this, which is quite funny because initially when I Wikipedia'd it, or I Googled it and ended up in Wikipedia, I came across the Blunt Force Trauma, which is more hardcore punk and like thrash metal adjacent. It wasn't this band. Remember DRI in that band, believe it or not. We got Blind Devotion coming up. Des ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV, signing in. Blunt Force Trauma, Vengeance for Nothing is the album. Track 2 of 9. Blind Devotion, let's go. So, we might move on to Internal Bleeding coming up, alright? I've never listened to that band, but I know some people are mad at it. Somebody says some OG hardcore influence, Internal Bleeding and New York punk style. And someone reckons a bit of Dying Fetus in there. What does that riff sound like? There's a, I think it was put out around the same time. There's a band called Backtrack, a New York band called Backtrack. And they put a record out. I think it was like their most popular song they ever did before they broke up. Called Darker Half. I think that was the tune, Darker Half. It has a riff like that. It was like the most popular riff they did. I'll be real, this tune in particular, the first riff and this riff, I think that's corny. I think we should stick to the brutality. I think the more like upbeat sections don't really suit this band, in all honesty. Nice. Ba-da, 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 ba-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Come on. Well, whilst... Oh, was that it? That was the end? That was so abrupt. It just kills it off there, last 5 seconds. Yeah, I think on that track they've sort of given me a showcase of what I don't want a slam band to be. It sort of verges a little bit more so on heavy hardcore, and heavy hardcore can be incredibly bland. You know. So let's keep going. We got a couple of comments to read from this next one. We got track 3 coming up. Let's keep going. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV signing in. Mixed bag so far. I really like the first song. I like the slam elements, the beatdown elements. Second song we turned into a little bit of just like a cheap, heavy hardcore sort of act, and I'm not really too fussed on that. But this is Live for Nothing or Die for Something, taking a page out of Hatebreed's book with that song title. We got some comments. Dude, if this is not slam, which it isn't, I think, it's a hell of a brutal death metal song. Why? It slams without the boring part of slam. And some guy says, God damn, true slamming hardcore. I mean, jeez, it's metal, isn't it, really? Let's keep going. Track number 3. I mean, even the riff sounds Hatebreedy, doesn't it? It's funny because more or less at this exact moment of time, it maybe if not a year or two after when this was released, over here in England, there was a great big sort of slam beat down hardcore circuit. I mean, it's more or less non-existent now, but there's a fair bit of hype for this style of music, so a few bands sort of came from England at this point. I wasn't too big on it. The music was alright, but I thought the crowd was just, just overcompensating for some or other. It was rubbish. Ooh. Hearing them vocals again, I thought this on the Discord when it was like hitting this low brutal guttural, but there's this higher register, like almost harmonic, what rings across the top, which is awesome. You hear that? Unless it's two vocals. What do you think? Is it two vocals at the same time? gonna go back because I thought this bit was really cool. This bit. Very heavy. That timing was very heavy, and to just have that drum there stand alone for that moment was really cool. That was really cool. We got Blackboard Jungle coming up next, track number 409. I will see you there, people. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Vengeance for Nothing by Blunt Force Trauma. This is the only record they put out. Somebody says, wow, I'm on my first listen to this album, such as myself, and I already want it on CD and vinyl. After a moment's worth of searching, it seems that pretty much impossible right now. Very unfortunate. These guys destroy the opposition. Yeah, it's been hit or miss for me, in all honesty, at this point. I'm still making my mind up. So this one's Blackboard Jungle, track number 3. Here we go. Let's dun 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 dun. Yeah, it sounds like a riff. Some silly band called Facecast did a track called Wife Beater, man. It's honestly, if you like music like this, check it out, because it's ignorant. It's ignorant as hell, but it's hard as hell. It's bad. It's a controversial bit of music, that is for definite. Especially if you watch the music video. I'll be surprised if you find the music video on YouTube. I think it got taken down for what you would find as obvious reasons, but yeah, they did a split with a band called Sea Hunt 777. That's not the real name, you know. The real name's like an expletive, but yeah, Facecast, quality. The exact same riff. Ba-da-bum-bum, ba-da-bum-bum. Come on. Get up, Java. What's coming up? Side to side. I want to see footage of these dudes playing live, you know. See what sort of crowd they attract. When you think about it, try picture that it's somebody's feet creating that sound. It's ridiculous. It's like cartoon-esque. That was Blackboard Jungle by Blunt Force Trauma, the BFT. It was pretty good. It wasn't a bad tune at all. You know what? I think these dudes come up with some good ideas, in all honesty. Some good rhythms and some quite unique perspectives of what could be, you know, general riffs. I think it's pretty good from time to time. Right, we got Empty Lies and Broken Promises. These dudes definitely listen to a bit of Hatebreed. I'm not going to lie to you, definitely. Right, I'll see you there. Yes, now bless. Now don't forget to rest. Now there's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV signing in. Empty Lies and Broken Promises is what we're listening to by Blunt Force Trauma. This is track number 5 and 9. Let's go. Straight to it, eh? Get back. You just hear the tinny ringing off of that snare there. That high end. That's some deathcore riffing right there. Nice. Come on. Better. I didn't expect it to come in so heavy. Beat it down. Bro, that's some System of a Down style phrasing right there. Don't you think? In its own unique way, the riff is in particular. That's when that second vocalist comes in with his charming and you know, eccentric vocal line. I got some cold coffee. Get up. Lovely. That was pretty good. Some good ideas. I think we're gonna just sort of follow the same old routine. There's good ideas in all of these songs. There's some really cool ideas. It's not just boring slam for slam's sake, where we'll have a fast bit and then we'll have a slam and then we'll go back and forth and maybe a beat down if we're more modern. And yeah, we do sort of teeter over a couple of genre-based boundaries, which can be a downside as much as it can be an upside. But you know, you're always waiting for what comes next, and there's quite a few surprises and shocks. Exploitation of Humankind coming up next. There's ROCKSTEADY, King of the Pit TV. We're listening to Blunt Force Trauma. I just tried to make out via the logo there what the band was called. I'm never going to be able to read that. That's an old school looking logo, in all fairness. Old school 2000s, stuck with it logo. I think I'm hearing a lot of 2000s in this band, like mid 2000s hardcore style, mid 2000s heavy hardcore / beatdown hardcore elements in this band. Exploitation of Humankind is this one. Track number 6, let's go. Come on now. Dingus Whiffle says, F, this album is so good. Really is a part 2 for Purification Through Violence. Purification? Who did that? Dying Fetus? Purification Through Violence. And I love that album so much. Very stoked that Relapse is repressing it. Didn't think much to them, that vocal line right there, eh? Giving a sloppy toppy with that one. Come on. What can be said? What can be said? Heavy, hard, nice blast there at the end. I always associate them blasts with a quality windmill. I don't know what put me onto that. I must have seen a couple of music videos, a couple of death metal music videos back in the day, where they syncopated that blast with, well, maybe it was at live events actually where I've seen that. I don't even know. That was Inconsistency Politics. It wasn't my favourite track off the record. Wasn't my favourite track. A little bit like rap metal in places, which I'm not too fussed about. It's not Biohazard, is it? We got Inconsistency Politics coming up next, which arguably could be a reference to this record. I'll see you there. Yes, now blessed now, people. Don't forget to rest now. Des Rocksteady, King of the Pit TV, Blunt Force Trauma. Inconsistency Politics is the title of this one. Track 7 of 9. Shall we jump in, people? I think we should do. Let's go. In between this song and the last song, I checked out the demo that got put out by these dudes in 2006. Genova Virus was the name of that band. I just had a little look at the background on Encyclopedia Metalum or whatever it's called. Had a little listen to, you know, a couple of clips of the demo and stuff. Big change. This is a lot more polished, a little more crazy to tell you, but it's a lot more easy listening, you know. Come on. Come on. One, two, three, four. That's Baby Killer. That's freaking Baby Killer. That's definitely a tribute to Baby Killer at the very least. That's ignorant as hell. Vocals are so stupid, man. Come on. Nice, that was inconsistency politics. I have no doubt in my mind that that baby killer was a little bit of devourment worship, right? There's no chance that that was just like they tried to pull that one off. But that was good. I like them low and slow vocals. They sound absolutely ridiculous. Sound exactly how I like them. We got a Terror with Armed Intervention coming in next. There's ROCKSTEADY King of the Pit TV listening to Blunt Force Trauma. A Terror with Armed Intervention is the title of this one. So let's jump straight in, shall we? Yes, now, bless now. Don't forget to rest now. Des ROCKSTEADIus at King of the Posers TV. We're listening to Blunt Force Trauma. A Terror with Armed Intervention is the title of this one. Track number 8 and 9. Let's go. We've been listening to Vengeance for Nothing. Ba-da-da. Check this out. Joe says this is one of the best records in this genre. Bold statement, bold statement. F yeah, brother man, these guys effing get down. Can't tell Dying Fetus is their favourite band. They just became one of mine now, thanks. Somewhat like a riff and a vocal phrasing from a band that used to be quite MySpace famous back in the day called Annotations of an Autopsy, an English band that sort of did the brutal deathcore thing quite well. Ba-da-da. That's that Dying Fetus right there, I think. You know one thing this band is missing though? Bass drops. Bass drops would be nice in this band. Hardcore. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Not too bad, not too bad. That was Vengeance for Nothing. I mean, I'm hearing a lot of ideas that stem from brutal bands I'm aware of. And I'm not very well versed in like brutal death and the like, so to hear it goes to show that, you know, they're influenced perhaps by like the highlights of great brutal death sounds, whether it be deathcore or beatdown or anything in between. Let's finish this off. Last track coming up. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV, finishing off the record Vengeance for Nothing by Blunt Force Trauma. Let's jump in, shall we? 2 minutes 30. Well, are we gonna end this record on the craziest breakdown of all time? I'm sure you lot just heard that as well. It just got really loud for some reason. Here we go, last time to shine. I want to see a set of these dudes playing. I want to see what their crowd's like. Quite an odd song to finish on. 2 minutes 30 without any sort of novelty to it. And you know, we don't like novelty in music, but you know, nothing that really sold it for putting a 2 minute 30 song at the end. You know, could have put a longer length one and had like some you know, the final beat down, no pun intended. And that was it. That was Vengeance for Nothing. I'm gonna do one last video. Alright, you'll find that on the other channel as to where I give you my final review and overview of this record. And on that note, I'm signing out. Peace. I'll see you on the flip side. Yes, now blessed now, people. Don't forget the rest now. There's Rocksteady at King of the Pit TV. Just listened to, for my very first time, to an album called Vengeance for Nothing by an act called Blunt Force Trauma. Supposedly there's two Blunt Force Traumas. One of them being the band we listened to, like brutal death, slamming, beatdowny, heavy hardcore style of act. Whereas apparently there's like more of a hardcore punk adjacent thrash metal crossover act, which features, I think it was the drummer of DRI. There's definitely a member of DRI in the band, Wikipedia told me. This is the only LP this band has put out, and it was released in 2012. Prior to this, there's a couple of demos and a split. And supposedly, some say it was like, quite the demo, quite the set of songs in the extreme metal community. The precursor to this band was a band called, I've forgotten it now, something Virus. I forgot the name of it exactly, but there was a band that came prior to this, and I did check out a couple of like different clips from that band, and there's definitely a big change in sound. This is a lot more polished, a little more radio friendly per se. The other one was like quite harsh. Sound engineering was harsh, the production and the ideas were a little bit more nonsensical, but not necessarily in a bad way. It was a little more unique, to be honest. This album had 9 tracks, no filler, no sample. Well, did it start? I don't even think it started with a sample, just no filler. You got brutal music from start to finish, drop tunes, simplified riffing. We didn't necessarily have any complexities with the instrumental, even down to the drums. The drums weren't necessarily complex at all. Vocals, just what you would expect from a brutal death metal band. Not necessarily, anything amazing as far as the vocals are concerned, in my opinion. Nothing incredible as far as the guitars are concerned. Nothing incredible as far as the drumming's concerned. To jump to the chase, I thought this was quite an average record. I didn't really. I thought it was I don't want to say boring, but I think it was a bog standard record. This was number 1 on a. I just went on rateyourmusic.com, and as far as slam death metal is concerned, as a music genre, this is like album number 1, and I don't know why. It's very modern. I think when it comes to this style of music, I want it to just be ridiculously gruesome, horrible slam, brutal death, or I want it to openly declare itself as beatdown music, basically, one or the other. When you toe the line, it's sort of like you want to be this brutal band, but then you come with these like upbeat and sort of like spring in your step style, like hardcore riffs and stuff, and these like rap metal-esque, rhythmic patterns vocally atop, but I just don't think it aligns very well. It sort of turns me off a little bit. I'm not a fan of heavy hardcore. Heavy hardcore to me is just like a dire genre. I'm really not into it, and there's a lot of that on this record. But with that being said, this is quite unique in its own way. They've got a lot of fantastic perspectives on, slamming down on the first 5 frets and the rhythmic patterns, and the way they incorporate the changes of the tempos and how they're structuring the songs and whatnot. There is a lot of good artistic freedom within this band. That's cool. That is cool. I think the whole brutality of it is detracted by the heavy hardcore aspect, though. I think the incorporation of that sort of cheapens the record. I think it sort of makes it sound a bit cheap, in all honesty. You can tell the band's taken a bit of influence from bands of the mid-2000s. There was a particular time in mid-2000s where you had these beatdown-esque sort of New York, Americanized wiggle bands, should I say, for lack of better term. And this band sort of fits in there. This band was dropped from Japan, like, don't get me wrong. A lot of people in the comment section talk about Dying Fetus and stuff like that. Fits it to a T, from what I'm aware. If I'm to rate this record out of 10, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. I'm not returning to this record. I don't think it's unique enough for me to give it a 6 or a 7. I think it's if I had it in my collection out, I wouldn't really bother returning, but here we are. It's subjective and each to their own, right? So on that note, I'm going to continue on, and let me just say, I've listened to this record just on a little bit of a brutality run. Like, I listened to Devourment's Butchered a Week very first, and then I listened to Disgorge's Cranial whatever it was called second, and then I got onto this, so you can see sort of like where I've had high standards as a whole, and unfortunately it's just not tickled my pickle on that. And on that note, I'm signing out, so I'll see you soon, people. Peace.